Hey guys, you wouldn't even believe this. Guess what? Nintendo's releasing this movie called The Wizard, and according to the trailers and magazines, those who will see it will get to see the first ever showing of footage from Super Mario Bros. 3. I mean, we really enjoyed Super Mario Bros. 1 and 2, and we're now Lost Levels doesn't exist as far as I'm concerned. But yeah. So who wants to go see a movie with Mario 3 in it?
Oh, I'm so excited that I'm becoming unborn because it was released before I even existed.
Yes. Hey, Dad, you want to see the first ever time footage of Mario 3?
Sure, why not?
All right. So, yeah, basically, everybody, as you can see, we're doing The Wizard for 1989. This was a movie that was a collaboration between Nintendo and Universal, which is kind of weird, considering just a few years before, they had this big fight in court because Universal was claiming Nintendo infringed on their copyright of King Kong. Never mind the fact that King Kong is public domain, but whatever. And yes,
I get if it was at the time, and again, given how mucked up copyright infringement law has been,
I can answer that.
Good old Disney. That's probably the reason they were able to pull off.
Nintendo still won in the end because Kirby, the lawyer, actually proven that King Kong was public domain.
Yeah.
So.
I believe it was that same lawyer who they named Kirby.
Yes.
Which recently passed
basically, that lawyer proved right in the middle of court that first off, and they even had the arcade game be played on court for everybody to see. And the judge even noticed, this doesn't have anything really much to do with King Kong. It's just, and then guess what? And then, of course, like you guys said, John Kirby demonstrated. Actually, you know what? I looked through the records of the court. Turns out, a few years back, Universal themselves proved in court that King Kong is public domain and therefore fair game. And here they are, years later, trying to, I guess, pretend that they themselves did not prove this property was public domain. Seriously,
they forgot.
How dumb do you need to be? But anyway, yeah, which is why it's so weird.
But you know what? Screw you guys. I'm not excited to see Super Mario Bros. 3. No, I'm excited to see the film that was literally Tobey Maguire's film debut.
Yeah, apparently. He just makes makes a very small cameo there.
Yeah.
He's basically one of Lucas's goons.
It also has a young Christian Slater before he was famous.
Christian Slater.
Yes. Bo Bridges as well. And Fred Savage. And keep in mind, this is before the Wonder Years. Yeah.
What a time capsule this movie is.
So yeah, as you guys can see, but this movie at the time was a big thing because, remember, this was back when Nintendo was at the peak of their popularity in America, because at this point in time, they were basically a monopoly. They literally monopolized American video games by being the only remember, they even dictated to third-party companies. If you make games for us, you can't release games for other platforms, basically making it so it was literally impossible to compete against them. That was very dickish, but whatever.
Credit, they were kind of the company that helped the video game industry get out of its flunk after Atari drove it into the ground over in America. So
that doesn't. I don't know, Joe. That doesn't give, in my opinion, that doesn't give you the right to bully third-party companies into just making games for you. To be honest with you.
I wouldn't call it necessarily bullying. More so, again, it was their whole seal of quality thing, which was kind of the ways to help get your games to sell back then. Because, again, faith in video games was rocked to its core. Thankfully, when Sega would step up to challenge them, then, of course, obviously, their hold over the industry would become challenged. But enough about that history there. This movie.
Yes.
What the heck is this?
The most expensive
basically,
ever.
As you know, guys. Okay,
well, actually, not that expensive because, believe it or not, the budget is only $6 million.
Yes, Pedro.
Basically, right, before we do Super Mario Bros. 3, might as well check out the first ever time. This movie's basically just a glorified commercial for that game. So let's see if this commercial does its job of making us want to buy Super Mario Bros. 3. So
now, to be technical, the game was technically already out, but in Japan. This was, however, the first time Americans got to look at it. Because remember, this was well before the times of the internet, essentially. So, as far as some Americans knew, this game didn't even exist.
Yeah, basically. Okay, everybody. So, we're doing the recently remastered copy. If you're using the Blu-ray, you should start fine with us at 0. However, if you have a digital YouTube copy that has 2 Universal logos for some reason, this is a thing apparently, just skip the first logo and it should be in sync with us. All right, everybody ready?
Ready.
Yeah.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, click.
So, Pedro, you're telling me that the same company that sued Nintendo wrongfully was the company that Nintendo apparently decided to broker a deal with for their return to the film?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be too surprised if a lot of E3 conferences presentations got inspired by what happened in the climax of this movie.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, they have a theme park there, so.
And Fred Savage gets top billing even though he's not the main character. But the Wizard.
Yeah, the Wizard lives.
Yeah, basically,
Story.
And here's the thing about this movie. It doesn't start off the best way, as you can see. So here's a movie about Nintendo games and competing in the Nintendo Championship. And it starts with this random kid just walking down a road in a very slow-paced manner. Excitement!
I gotta say, Pedro, Nintendo's take on the straight story is looking pretty weird.
But guys, what are you talking about? I thought we were watching the 1986 TV show, also called The Wizard.
Never heard of that.
Yeah, I have to say, I know that it makes sense because the kid on which the title is referring to is considered a wizard, in terms of video game skills.
Yeah,
but I have to say this title is kind.
I agree. I was about to say that. I get that they didn't want to be blatant and just call it Nintendo Commercial the movie or something, but really this is the best. You could have said like the Game Master or something. That would have been a nice callback to the Game Master TV series.
The
let me
Game
guess.
Master.
Yeah, or the Nintendo Game Master, something like the Wizard doesn't. That sounds like something else.
How about the power?
Not to mention, Joe, he can get confused with the Wiz, of course.
Yeah.
Anyway,
genuine question.
Go on.
Go on.
This kid's not AVGN, right?
No.
No.
That was just a joke.
I know. That's still a good punch.
Why is he in the deserts?
Anyway, so.
You want an answer to that, Lips? You only get that answer at the end of the movie. Go on, Jova.
Oh.
Yep. Trust me, it all makes sense in hindsight.
It's
But I'm guessing that when it came to trailers for this movie, they definitely focused highly on the climax with Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah,
3.
they obviously, Jova.
Otherwise, because again, since this was before the internet, there would have been no way that everyone clamoring to the theaters for that look would have known about it.
Jova, it's that simple. The marketing company looked at this thing and thought, okay, what's going to be the best way to get asses in seats? Let's really showcase how, you can go see people play Mario free and as well as other Nintendo games. And that was basically it. Okay, also, Debs, about the answer that you're asking about this kid.
Oh boy,
okay.
He wants to go to California.
All right. Okay, 2 things. 1, Debs, prepare for a disappointing payoff when it comes to the whole why he doesn't want to go to California thing. 2nd, here's the first major problem of the movie. The main actor is a terrible actor. Now, I'm sure the kid is turned out to be a nice person. Sure, why not? Hopefully, at least. I don't know. Maybe. But he's not good in this movie. Not really.
If I may, what they're trying to go for with the kid is that he has very awkward social skills to a degree, but he best expresses himself when playing video games, essentially.
Yes.
Not a bad idea, but the problem lies heavily in the execution.
Not to mention, it's an outdated stereotype with similar to Rain Man.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, the whole video games help people with depression thing is going to become more if we can now, actually. Hold on. Yeah, it is.
Let me guess. The family are moving to California, but he doesn't want to go to California.
No.
Dibs. He literally said he wants to go to California. Pay attention.
It's that guy from Baby Geniuses. The guy with the whole. You think I'm gonna step on that ski, and then you're gonna jump on the end, And I mean, the gonads. Remember that? Like it's that guy.
Oh my god! So he went from this to
Baby
Baby
geniuses. That's sad.
You know, I'm gonna say it right now. For the lacking problems that this movie has, I will take this 10 times over Baby Geniuses.
Here's the basic. The basic point is, ever since his mom died, he's been, very traumatized and all that shit. He closed himself off, all that stuff that we already know. So let's see what the psychiatrist's idea for this is.
Oh, thanks Hollywood for constantly trying to portray psychiatrists as people that are obtuse or evil.
And yeah, Fred Savage. Fred Savage's performance in this movie is kind of weird. Like God,
Christian Slater is a late teen. He's so
really
weird.
That's a late teen.
I think it's. Go on. Right, it's either late teens or early 20s. One of the two.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, he was 20 at this point.
Yeah, 20. The Wizard! Isn't it?
Jennifer!
Man, this commercial has a great story attached to it.
This is exactly what I want out of my movie about Nintendo games.
All right. So again, I'm not aware of the marketing entirely that this movie had, aside from the whole Super Mario Bros. 3 commercials. So, how much of the plot was the trailer honest about?
They showed they showed the occasional clip here and there, but the bulk of it was mostly on the Nintendo games. Which
I'm curious. Do they even mention the whole thing with Jennifer?
I'll have to go back and watch them. It's been a while.
That was not a guess, Joe. It might be a case of they might construct the idea. The touching journey of an entire family across the continent or something like that.
So unless you're more familiar with Alone in the Dark, the thing he's most well known for is playing a major character in the TV show Mr. Robot.
Mr. Robot, yes. I can assure you he's actually really that good in that role. So.
Oh, sure.
Wasn't he in Star Trek at some point?
Yes. The 6th movie.
Star Trek 6.
Well...
Hey, Star Trek 6 is awesome.
He's
yeah,
not,
you know what?
However. Like, he's
okay.
not... the movie is good in spite of that.
What is it with Christian Slater? Okay, he's not like Steven Dorff, who constantly has these back and forths on whether or not he's doing good with his career or not.
I'm sure he's a nice person, but I think he's a good actor, if I have to be honest. His delivery always seems way too off-key for whatever he wants to do.
Okay.
Aside from Alone in the Dark, has he ever had a role where he's the absolute lead of
hold
a
on.
project?
South Dakota? Hold on. Kansas. I wonder what's going to be the verdict.
Wisconsin.
Of course.
I want to go see Schwarzenegger.
See, he can deliver the line fine. Why can't the other kid do it?
Okay. The point of this movie is to try and show how... Okay, do you mind if I even really get ahead of the plot here? Because they do mention Jennifer.
It's about family, Joey. It's about this family reconnecting together.
Oh, so this is where Fast and Furious goes.
Oh, so Green River. Okay, Jova, go on quickly since I have my thing to bring up since apparently we missed it.
Basically, the whole deal with the main hero kid is that he's dealing with PTSD from the loss of his sister Jennifer, to which the family is split up, and the mother, Christine, is considering putting him in a home, essentially.
Yeah.
Jennifer essentially drowned.
Oh yeah, that's it. The sister. I forgot about it. Was the sister that died. You're right. Never mind. The point is, the sister died.
We're doing a video game in which is simply all.
Okay. So.
Okay. Go on.
So here's the thing. So here's the thing that we missed about the psychologist since we're talking. She says, I think he's trying to find a way of expressing himself. Hey, Dwebs, what would be the best way for a 10-year-old kid to express himself in 1989?
To dealing with the death of his sister.
Yeah, to deal with the death of this sister. What's the best way for this kid? Go on.
All right.
Playing Nintendo games, obviously.
I was going to say playing Dungeons and Dragons, but apparently that's the spawn of Satan.
I mean, that was legit going to be the third thing I was going to say.
Okay. Look. Again, I don't think it's inherently a bad idea to think that someone can deal with their trauma and somehow deal with it using video games.
I'm sorry.
Honest. Oh, hold on. Now, hear me out here. It is a nice contrast from people who were demonizing video games as just making bloodthirsty killers out of children and all that jazz.
It's okay, you can say Fox News.
Also, Wonder Bread. Which is interesting because, remember, Fred Savage will go on to star in the Wonder Years. Also, what the fuck's up with security? This kid just broke out his brother from the hospital with no resistance whatsoever.
If what's it called? If I know who killed me is anything to go by, apparently hospitals actually do not have nurses and stuff.
Of course, that makes sense.
Hey, Pedro. We can't forget Book of Henry. That just showed the pinnacle of hospital security.
Even in 2017, we were still doing this shit.
But yeah, we just got a sample also of the score. Who did it?
I don't know.
Let me check.
The composer is a guy named J. Peter a composer from England, former Buckinghamshire to be precise. His filmography, I mean, as of recording, he's still alive at 77.
Cool.
His filmography includes a lot of films. I'm trying to pick out ones that are more. Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
Cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, meet Mr. Putnam. Who is he? He's a quote-unquote professional child retriever. I wasn't aware that there were people who literally had the job of specifically looking out and bringing back lost children specifically. I mean, I usually do with that
agencies, I guess, but
I mean, especially because they don't have a specific term for it. They just say child retriever. Like, is that actually a
thing? Does this?
Let me check.
As for his other films that he scored, he also did Highlander 3: The Sorcerer.
Hey, the score was fine.
Oh, and here's the thing, Dwebs.
Godzilla 2000.
Here's the thing, guys. This movie is going to portray Mr. Putnam as the villain, kind of, sorta. Well, there's technically another villain, but this guy also as well, an antagonist. Let's go with antagonist. Yeah.
Wow.
What a gentleman.
Well, you're a jerk.
What I want you to do is not find your son, because then I don't get paid.
Kind of reminds me of Homer hires a private eye, but because he cannot pay the private eye, kill him.
Okay, it's two things. One, the fact that he's rude doesn't make him a terrible person necessarily. Second, if he says he's going to get Jimmy, no problem, why should you have a problem? Okay, so he's rude, he has a bad attitude. Okay, as long as he does his job bringing back Jimmy, why should you care? Yeah, they can try to portray him as an antagonist, but there's not really a good enough reason for this guy to be an antagonist.
I wonder, was there supposed to be...
I mean, there can also be...
Was there supposed to be, like, some hidden implications?
No, he's just a jerk, that's all.
Yeah, he's just a jerk, that's it. He never actually does anything terrible to Jimmy, or... I don't think anything, actually. Like, he's just kind of has a bad attitude, and that's it. That's not really a good enough reason for us to hate a movie.
Go, Dwibs. This is a story of two brothers trekking it across the United States in an ice cream truck.
Again, the Wizard. The little 10-year-old kids who came here to watch Nintendo games are totally sleeping right now, probably. Seriously.
Okay.
I'm not expecting them to be like they end up in Super Mario Brothers 3 or something, but so far, well, yeah, that's my mood.
This
right
could be
now.
any other movie.
Yeah. My mood is what was on screen just then.
See, the thing is,
Okay.
the thing you have to understand is
No, radiant, dour, and miserable.
you have to understand this. The way that this movie was marketed as, it was marketed to you as like a big extravaganza of Nintendo stuff, and like I said, the first time ever seeing of the brand new surprise game and shit like that. I feel like they should have gone with a more exciting plot. Go on.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I don't think you could advertise the film as, "Hey, do you want to watch new footage of Super Mario Brothers?" Our boring mess of a movie.
Go on, Joe.
All right, here's the thing, though. As much as we joke about how this movie is more so remembered as a big Super Mario Bros. 3 commercial to the point where Mario himself is literally on the poster for this movie,
Yep.
the thing is, technically the Super Mario Bros. 3 stuff was just product placement, essentially.
Like you said, like we mentioned, this is just a big gigantic commercial when you really get down to it, just with a plot attached to it.
That being said,
it wasn't even a very profitable commercial.
All right.
On that $6 million budget,
Oh,
only like 4.
Let me explain what he just said. That's the Play Choice 10. What is the Play Choice 10? It's basically an arcade that has Nintendo games, because Nintendo actually ported their games to the arcade back in these days. Now he's playing the arcade version of Double Dragon. Okay, keep in mind how long he spends at that arcade. Yeah, there you go. It's an arcade port of the NES version of Double Dragon. So he starts playing it right from the beginning. Okay, let's see how long he stays there in that arcade. I want you guys to keep time.
Mm-hmm.
Also, random female character that's gonna join the party because I guess reasons.
Token girl.
Yeah, basically. So yeah, I forgot his name. Fred Savage is going to take Jimmy to California, basically.
I love how you're just calling him Fred Savage.
I don't know his character's name, and quite frankly, I don't care. Here you go. Check this out. I want you guys to listen to this.
What?
Hold on. No. Movie. No. He spent... on that arcade he started the game and it spent like what, a minute tops?
Yeah.
You can't get 50,000 points on Double Dragon in under a minute. That's literally impossible.
Even the other guy was questioning it.
Don't you see, guys? It's to show how gifted the Wizard is.
And here's another major part of this movie. You can tell that this movie was written by adults who have never played video games.
Okay. That said, consider this, though. So, did they just have someone play that game and get it to that point just to have it get to there? Because if that's the case, though, if they had someone play it, then shouldn't they know that he wouldn't be able to get it done that quickly?
That's the thing, Joe, but we never actually see that score on screen, so we just have to take Fred Savage's word for it.
The sad thing is, Fred Savage actually does have a role that he's more recognized as.
Oh, yeah, he does.
The grandson in Princess Bride.
That too, yeah.
Yeah.
And Wonder Years. Mm-hmm. All right, listen to how these two talk.
Oof.
Yeah. And yeah, the kids talk like adults, like when they're talking to each other. All right, so let's see if he can beat her at Double Dragon.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah, let's see him beat that. So she got 25,000 points. Let's see how much Jimmy gets.
I mean, props to the movie for not saying that, oh, girls cannot play video games.
Oh, sure.
But at the very least, for the time, it was surprisingly progressive.
They are beating it already.
Seriously, like...
Dude, the music's so rad.
Okay, now I can maybe answer Jova. Okay, I guess maybe they got somebody to do this like over multiple runs, and then they got the kid on the arcade, maybe. There you go.
Did they add the technology to modify ROMs already at this point?
I don't know.
You beat it already a bit ago.
Regardless, you can't get that high a score on Double Dragon in such a short amount of time. That doesn't work.
How unfortunate.
Wah, wah, wah.
See, he's not even particularly great at the game. He just stands there jump kicking. Like, he's not even particularly good at the game.
Oh, that's how you play, right?
Wait, I thought that was Brad Bird.
So yeah, Bo Bridges and Christian Slater. Yeah, I don't really know the characters' names either. Are going to also try their best to try to find Jimmy because once again, Mr. Putner is rude. Therefore, we can't allow him to bring back Jimmy. We're gonna do it ourselves.
I think a better way to write it for the plot was they appreciate his help, but they also want to go on their own methods of search too for the boy too.
Oh,
hey,
sure, eyes on the road, mate. I know that it's one of those roads where nothing happens, but this shit happens.
Go all over the place.
Whoa!
Also chivalry.
You know...
Yeah, man, he's driving like he's from New Jersey or something.
Remember the old days back before smartphones and Google Maps?
Oh, nice playing Ninja Gaiden.
Oh, Ninja Gaiden.
Hey,
that's out of the
movie!
Okay, so what's your idea, honey? So that's their plan. Make bets with people on whether or not they can beat Jimmy at video games.
And essentially a get-rich-quick scheme.
Yeah. I mean, they're kids. This is perfectly what a kid would
Yeah.
Oh, sure. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that. I'm not complaining. It's just that I don't really buy Jimmy's supposed godhood skills that they're trying to portray. You know, I don't buy it.
You know, I kind of a bit jealous, but I don't think my country ever got Shadow Powers, a magazine. I probably would have loved it.
Hold on, a video game contest in 1989 awarding $50,000.
Yeah. Video game tournaments actually did offer quite good deals of money.
I think Nightshade, the Claws of Sutek, did that something like that.
Yeah.
Can't wait for the inevitable tournament where you can win £1 million.
So basically, she's in it for the money.
Cha-ching.
Again, I could totally see a kid acting like that. So.
I mean, when you really get down to it, this will be the ideal episode plot of Ed and Eddie episode.
There he is, and now now he's kind of dressed like a office person. Go on.
Yeah, he's dressed like Tommy Lee Jones in No Country for Old Men. I guess.
Yeah, go on, Jova.
I guess if I can give this movie credit, the kids, for the most part, seem to be written relatively fine for kids.
Also, guys, I don't know about you, but I'm sure in the mood for a Pepsi right now.
I've got.
Now it's time to.
Pepsi Man was on the PlayStation.
Hey, Dwebs, after last night, you want to get some Mountain Dew?
Okay.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Okay.
Last night, last night, you want to get Mountain Dew?
Okay, so now he is actually a dick.
Okay, now he's actually this is the other main thing with the conflict. For some reason now they're competing on who will get Jimmy first. Like this,
so he can get paid.
And this is the primary problem. The kids in this movie are more mature than the fucking grown-ups.
Adults, yeah.
What the fuck is going on?
But it happened with the second, but not really that much. But yeah, if you try, because I've actually seen it happening, not obviously from my action. If you try to rupture car's tire, that shit will explode.
And Bo Bridges is going to get arrested
Wait,
for
really?
destruction of property, for property damage.
Think of it as a giant, very compressed balloon.
I'm sorry,
Like,
Bo. You can't do that. You can't use a shovel to break a person's car. That's illegal.
Okay. Well, okay, to be fair, slashing someone's tires are also illegal, too.
Two wrongs don't make a right, Jova.
Okay, basically, Tio, he didn't go for the straight puncture. What he did was for more of the slashing maneuver of a tire, essentially.
Ew. Like, that must smell in there.
I get it. We're traveling the Final Fantasy VII way.
Yeah.
No, Joe, it's the Digimon movie. They just ordered a pizza.
Alright, so... Yeah, the girl's named Haley. You know truckers?
Pirate card.
Code? Yes, don't we all know? Just like the pirates' code. Pirates have their code, and truckers also have their code, apparently.
Just ask US1.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Well, now, that girl knows quite a bit. Don't have a cow, Tio.
Oh, they have.
I got it. Okay.
Uh-oh.
That's it. His name is Corey. Fred Savage character, I mean.
He noticed that she had all that money and then stopped the truck.
That's
Theft.
I understand that you want to put the kids in, conflict situations for them to get out of, but can't you do it a better way than just making every adult into an asshole?
Well,
that happens.
You're stealing money from kids, you dickheads.
I know, right?
I mean, to be fair, would you steal money from kids?
I wouldn't.
Oh,
Good.
I don't even understand where you were going with that, Dedge.
Yeah, like that's usually I'm on a similar wavelength to you. Nuh-uh, I don't even get where that came from.
Oh no, I was just being full of crap.
Oh, look, Christian Slater playing, and yes, let's see what he's playing.
NES Golf.
Judging by his movement on the controller, he's clearly not actually playing.
No.
He's playing video games.
Like I said, nobody involved in the making of this movie actually plays it.
Agitate with your fingers, that will create the idea.
Come on, show us what he's playing. Wait! Oh, is he playing Super Mario Brothers 2, the American version? I recognize that soundtrack.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's Mario 2. USA.
Ladies and gentlemen,
going all thriller on us.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, was like 3 seconds of Mario 2.
Imagine the poor children who actually asked their parents to drag their poor parents to actually see this movie in theaters because, Dad, we're going to show the new game for the NES, I want to see it. And then they're stuck looking at this and probably are bored out of their
I know, right?
Look, I do have to wonder.
Oh, ew.
Well,
are you sure, Haley? Are you sure you still want him to give him the money? Then.
Hey, look, she knows her priorities.
I guess. And yeah, the kids are not.
She's cutthroat.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, that's another thing about the kid. Oh yes, because as we all know, old businessmen definitely loved to play arcades back in the 80s.
Yeah, to be fair, let's not be ageist. There probably were some who enjoyed the old game.
I love this coming here. I love this joke here. ha ha ha! Nobody could ever beat me. That's ridiculous.
You don't even know what kind of
You
game they
snake
played.
them?
Yeah. Okay. To be
Yeah,
fair, that was an
snake
old
oil.
saying back in the 80s.
Yeah.
I guess.
That being said, am I the one who's noticed a bit of an issue here? Our actual main character, Jimmy, has kind of little agency in his own plot, doesn't he?
No, he has the main characters for all intents and purposes are Corey and Haley. Like Jimmy just tags along.
Again, guys,
Okay,
this was 1 year after
Theory,
Rain Man, and you can tell they're trying to emulate it. I
I've
agree.
got a theory, actually.
Go
At
on.
least Rain Man had some qualities, but go on, James.
Jimmy was supposed to be the main character. Got him on set. They realized he couldn't act, but it was too late. Change stuff around too much, so they just gave his lines to these two.
Probably.
Okay, genuine question. Do you think this movie would have been better if Red Savage was like the strict main character?
Hold on, that.
Good at video games.
Hold on, that.
Probably.
Hold on, that. Haley just said, "No, I got tons of friends. I got lots of friends." Yeah. That's totally not me trying to divert the fact that I don't have any friends or anything. I assure you.
I'm guessing that's supposed to be a plot point.
Yeah, it is. These two are gonna actually become an item, believe it or not. Even though the way they go about it is incredibly awkward and forced.
Pedro, look at the time this movie came out.
1989. I know.
Yeah. It was.
Holy crap! She just punched them.
Knocked him out. Again. You know what? I'll give this movie credit. It sure doesn't go for the stereotypical damsels.
No, I get that, Joe, but I get the feeling they're overcompensating by making her a fucking violent bitch. Like, seriously.
Yes, they absolutely are, but it still is interesting to... Well, you know what? Honestly, seeing stuff like this, and again, the actual good examples of it done in the 80s, does really make me wonder... Where the hell did Hollywood ever get this notion that, we never had strong, independent females back in the 80s or 90s, so we gotta overcompensate with that in the 2010s?
Drovo, to answer your question, it's called the flat circle timeline.
Yep.
Because
So, I'm guessing...
I'm telling you, we keep going through the same cycle over and over again.
So, I get the feeling none of these kids ever were taught about stranger danger.
Well, okay, to be fair, they kind of are desperate to find places to move on across the bout here and there. And ironically, it seems that the bikers were more friendly than the truckers, so I guess don't judge based off of appearances.
Reno or
By
bust?
their head, so.
Okay.
What?
So what type of music
these,
this is?
80s music.
Yeah, 80s.
Yeah, yeah. Now this is basically your typical road trip montage, basically.
Oh, all that's missing is heaven as a place on earth.
I love what they put in please now.
Okay, that was a little funny detail. But,
Yeah, nice.
yeah. Okay, again, given how in recent history we have now had a bout where a movie did actually get sued for false advertising, and the people who filed that complaint actually won.
Good.
I
really
guess that
does
was
make me
Also,
wonder.
the name of this song is called "Send Me an Angel" by Real Life.
It really does make
Thanks,
me
Sam.
wonder.
Oh, here we are. Oh, never mind.
Again, I'll give this movie this, that they at least do later show that this guy really is a dick and pretty much a prick when chasing after kids. Hopefully not in another icky way, but I digress. But yeah, no, I do wonder, had this
What?
movie been released around, say, the time that stuff like, what?
There was a giant spider on the background. Like,
A car
Yes.
in the middle of
I
it.
think it was, draw distance so that he was like crawling on the windshield.
Kind of like how in Raiders of the Lost Ark, there's a fly that goes along the character's mouth.
When I first heard of this movie and the title and seeing the posters, I thought this was going to be some film about kids competing in a video game tournament.
Oh my god, he
but
spoke!
the video game tournament would be the whole movie, not them getting to it.
Yeah.
I was starting to think that Jimmy was actually a puppet that they carry around.
Hey,
Oh,
hey,
hey!
hey, Jova, you know what's funny?
What?
F1 Dream.
Regular show did this better.
Wow, yeah, of course.
The episode where Mordecai...
I think we're about to meet the best character of the movie.
I find it interesting how everybody in this movie has to bully these 10-year-olds to make themselves feel better about themselves.
What is wrong with you people?
I know, right?
It's morally correct.
Oh, there you go.
Don't you know?
Lucas? Who the hell is Lucas?
Was in the 80s.
Hold on, Dej.
Right. Okay.
Meet the main antagonist, Lucas.
And the surprising thing is that this child actor never did much in his career afterward. He did like a couple of other movies and then stopped in the end of the 90s.
It's ironically his sidekick.
I love how these.
Hold on. The ironic thing is that it's his sidekick played by Tobey Maguire, who would go on to be a much bigger name. Ironically,
the one on the right. Okay.
Yep.
He's got that same facial.
Oh, there you go. He knows all 97 of them.
Oh,
as in yes. The Power Glove.
It is. If I was a child watching this, I would find it.
And now behold, ladies and gentlemen, and he's going to demonstrate how, unlike everybody else, somehow he can get the Power Glove to work.
Forget if the Power Glove was released at this point, or if this is yet another commercial.
Yeah.
Do that sound effect.
So Rad Racer. Yep.
Now, yes, for those of you wondering, this actually was a real accessory for the NES.
But people already know thanks to the AVGN video.
According to the AVGN, this is the ideal way to play the Top Gun video game.
Actually, that's the U-Force from the NES accessories.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, you're right. It's a Power Glove. Never mind. You're right.
So they're watching Celebrity Squares in the background for a second.
Wow.
Also, Rad Racer apparently is a Square Enix IP now. Hironobu Sakaguchi was the designer of it. I forgot that Square is a racing IP under his sleeve.
Remember, Rad Racer. Rad Racer was a game that Square made before Final Fantasy 1. Oh, and now.
Tia, please don't forget the
best line. Best line.
Oh yeah.
To be fair, this is a false advertisement.
Wait. Hold on, I have to comment. Hold on, I have to comment on that. What kind of reaction was that from Corey? I know the Power Glove, it's so bad. And his reaction is, well, keep your Power Gloves off her. But he's not doing anything to her. What are you talking about, Corey?
He's a dork, remember this.
Like... Well, thanks for telling me.
Yeah.
You see, Lucas is the central antagonist of this film.
Man, video games are serious business.
Yo. For real.
So... Want to count some sheep? Or something? I don't know.
Wow, they're just as bored of this as I am.
Yeah.
What's not a good thing?
Us sleeping together, it's kind of weird, Dad.
It is. Oh, he's even gonna point it out in a moment.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this. I feel as cliched as it would have been, would it not have been better if this was actually about the father and mother reuniting and re-establishing their bond? Because, my God, the music feels a little too romantic for this scene.
Yeah, like it's... I don't really understand what exactly they're going for with this. I'm guessing it's supposed to be a heart-to-heart between the two. The thing is, the writing is not good.
It's across creepy if it says that's the intent.
And the writing is not particularly great either.
It's amazing.
And here's another problem, by the way. If anything, in order for this plot to work better, they should have actually shown a flashback of Jennifer back when she was alive, and how, so we have a good idea of what exactly was lost. We don't know anything about Jennifer, therefore we don't know what was lost, so we can't really empathize with their loss.
I know what was lost. Their marriage.
There's a reason. Oh, here you go. Listen here. I don't know, Christian.
It's like he thought, wait, what was I doing? Was I actually giving a crap about this movie for a second? This is way too weird.
Was that Christian Slater storming off the set and they decided to keep it in the movie?
Sure.
Here, Dad, let's play some NES. Come on. Did you know?
I don't know.
In the back of your truck. That's
Nothing... Hey guys, nothing like playing some NES for a father and son to reconnect.
Okay. You know what? Again, gaming can help one bond with a parent. Again,
yeah,
these
one
ideas
other
aren't...
dramatic, me and my father actually did play a lot of Crash Team Racing when I was a kid.
Oh, it's funny. Me and my dad played a lot of Crash.
Oh God, no! Don't play Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. No, don't play that one. Play the second game or the third one. Don't play that one.
If I recall correctly, the first one is the one with the infamous seaweed sewer level.
If you want to know more, everybody check out our playthrough. The point is, don't play that game. That game sucks.
I love what that dad said. Doesn't take much intelligence to play that game, does it?
You never actually tried to play this game, did you, Dad? Like. It's like the people who wrote this game don't know anything about these games or anything.
Wait, hold on.
That's not how you play a game. Like, at least try to get the actors to... At least try to have the actors at the very least try to play it.
Hold on. Was Mecha Turtle a thing at the end of level 3?
Yes. To be fair, yes.
Okay, so...
But that's the problem, Jova. There's a problem, Jova. This is not level 3. This is level 1. That's the problem, see?
It was talking on level 1 all night.
That's arguably the more, you know, the more aggravating thing, you know, the fact that you can see that there's a superficial, at least, understanding of what's going on, and yet they still fuck up. You know, if it was just, you know, nothing, it would be a thing. But it's infuriating because you know that they're actually close to actually, you know what to do.
Yeah. TL raises a good point here. Like, one would normally think, oh, they clearly don't know a thing about it, except no, the scripters show that they do know their fair share of game trivia. It's just that it constantly goes halfway here and there. Like, okay, maybe it's implied that the dad got as far as that level, but then got a game over.
Okay,
also,
Corey,
Jesus,
calm down.
What the heck?
Basically, Jimmy lost one game, and now Corey's all angry about it. And I'm just like, Corey, this is not how you handle your traumatized brother. Just saying.
Okay, we'll say this. He's too also a kid, so he probably doesn't know better, but still.
Yeah, like, that was probably just a heat of the moment thing. Blew up. Kids do that.
There you go. There you go. Turns out Jimmy is jealous of Haley because, remember, Corey has a crush on Haley. What? You are a crap older brother. I know because I'm one. Like.
Wait, you're a crap older brother?
No, I'm one, like as an older brother. I'm an older brother.
Okay.
So I know. So I can tell you, he's being really bad at that job right now.
Again, to give him credit, it's like one moment bad outburst, and he does later acknowledge he screwed up there.
So yeah, basically Haley storms off because I don't know reasons.
Oh boy! And now the movie's about to go high drama.
The guys from the arcade. Okay, how pathetic?
These are
How
not.
pathetic
These guys.
How pathetic are these teenagers that they feel the need to chase a couple of 10-year-olds just because they beat them at a video game? How pathetic are you?
Stephen King will be so
Really,
proud.
judging from the looks of it.
Honestly, Tio, you think the bullies in the Stephen King stories are bad? You should see the bullies in Tammy and the T-Rex.
Bad touch.
They make the bullies in Stephen King look tame by comparison.
I love that line. You didn't tell us this mutant was some kind of pro. Like what has that got to do with anything? Like no, but there was no obligation for them to tell you anything.
With the music.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. This sounds like something that came out of the '80s Commando flick. And suddenly the music stops.
I get that they're expecting money and there isn't any.
Corey in the house.
They're like the bullies in the Garbage Pail Kids movie.
So that's it. These bullies just come in, take the money, and they don't get any kind of karmic retribution.
I guess it's supposed to be maybe karma for them tricking people, conning people into. Maybe, I don't know.
It's poorly done.
He was our. Who? What was our Corey?
That's Jennifer.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah, have Corey tell us this via dialogue. Don't show it in a flashback or something.
Okay. I don't think that's inherently a problem, but hey, kids! You wanted to have fun with games? Well, first, enjoy the trauma as a twin brother mourns his twin sister who drowned. Drowned like you can in video games. This is totally a video game movie, we swear.
Let me put it this way, Jova. The death of the sister is the emotional core of the story. Therefore, they should try to sell it to us as much as possible. And the flashback to show us how it happened and the reactions of the family when it happens, that would help sell the drama to us.
Oh, I definitely understand that it would have helped. What I'm saying is that it wasn't absolutely required. Like, they could have done this well, even if they didn't include it. Obviously, they didn't do it well, but, that's another thing.
I'm also to mind because on one hand I understand what you mean, but second, having to actually show it, especially with a child character, could easily fall into the gratuitous.
I understand that too, but if they're the ones, I understand that too, but they're the ones who brought it up. Commit to it.
Again, I don't think they have to go as far as to show a little girl literally drown and whatnot. Even a discretion shot could have helped with that.
Well, okay, fine.
That being said, though, I do agree that regardless, though, it doesn't feel well gelled into the plot.
Oh, finally we're talking about the contest.
Over.
There was a
over. We have the high
here you go. Wait, Corey likes you? When was that? You see what I mean? Like, the romance just kind of shows up.
No, hold on. She didn't say that Corey likes her, it's that she wanted Corey to like her.
Why? They had, little to no meaningful interactions.
She had developed something of a crush on him. Oh my god, he wants to play, guys! Jimmy wants to play! The progress has been made!
Okay, inspiring.
How expiring, yeah.
So now we cut back
to... pinball.
Now we got back to James Rolfe at 50.
I was about to mention that, this is probably instead what, a businessman will play instead of video games at arcade. Pinball.
Yeah, that's a good point. They could have done that instead. What?
Again, let's not be ageist. They could
sure.
Games too still.
Sure. Can we zoom in on those video games? That they look a lot more entertaining than what's going on.
Hey Joe.
Yeah, they're playing Mega Man.
Hey Joe.
Licensing.
Yeah, again, Pedro, we only could pay so much licensing.
Do
Okay,
gaming companies still get paid for the royalties when these movies
Oh,
get distributed
God.
these days?
I know Capcom makes like $1 million every time the Street
What's
Fighter
this
movie gets aired
music?
on TV.
What's this music?
Is this something made for the movie?
Hold on. Don't get
You ought to be shot in a kids movie.
no, not just that, Teo. I want to analyze what he just said. Okay, hold on. You make money off little kids. The way you phrase it there, you're making it sound like something different than what it actually is. What he does is people pay him to retrieve children who are missing or ran away or something like that. Don't misconstrue his profession into making him worse than he is. Don't get me wrong, Mr. Putter is a dick, but Bill Burgess is not exactly a saint either, as you can see. Like, you're phrasing it in a way that makes it seem like a criminal activity.
Well, I have to say, this Twisted Metal movie is a lot interesting than I thought it would.
You secret original Sweet Tooth.
Yeah. I was gonna say Calypso, but you sure?
Well, now what? Well, I guess that's it for that scene. Light up beat music.
God, I love the 80s music.
No, as far as I'm concerned, the 80s was the golden age of music, as far as I'm concerned.
Which is funny, because most people would tell you that the 90s were the days where... Well, actually, yeah, no, the 90s were the days where you could literally make money just by recording ocean sounds. Like, people were that music hungry in the 90s.
But again, I was born and raised in the 90s.
And look at that. Now we're in Las Vegas.
The best place a child should be.
Clearly.
So as you can imagine, she literally said that our protagonist, quote unquote, needs to, in other words, get good.
Too, it's all about the training.
Yeah, the training now is we're going to get Jimmy to play as many NES games as possible.
Gonna need a montage.
What is
Why
the?
you watch a casino?
I'm pretty confident children are not allowed at casinos.
No. Where's the bouncer when you need him?
What the fuck? This movie has zero understanding of reality.
Said, this was 1 year after Rayman. You cannot tell me this is just a coincidence.
Okay.
How long was this movie filmed?
Let me check. As for this, I wonder if security was lower in the 80s, because, dear God, the 80s were a much different time.
His name is Spanky? That sounds like the name for a porn star. Spanky. Like...
Okay, so about the production of this movie. During 1988, a shortage of ROM chips and the preparation of a version of Super Mario Bros. 2 for the West delayed several of Nintendo's game releases in North America. One such product was Super Mario Bros. 3. The delay presented Nintendo with an opportunity to promote the game in a feature film. In 1989, Tom Polk of Universal Studios approached Nintendo of America's marketing department about a video game movie inspired by the Nintendo video game competitions.
Let me get this straight.
Envisioned a video game version of Tommy for younger audiences. Nintendo licenses products for the inclusion in the film.
He gets $10. Maybe somehow... Nintendo Power Hotline. Let's see...
I would say something, but I...
Nintendo Gameplay Console. Let's see what they say.
And more Super Mario Bros. 2. And again, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, this was a thing in the 80s where if you were having trouble with playing a game, you could call the Nintendo hotline. And again, probably a lot of people did that in Castlevania 2 because there's a...
That fucking puzzle with the tornado, man.
Yeah, not just that.
Among other things.
That and the Sega hotline with the Carnival Night Act 2 bit as well. But
Anyway, okay, as for why they were allowed into the casino, remember, that's where there's all these arcade games.
Oh, look at that, Jova.
I think that's...
Now 7 bombs are left. Hurry up.
God, couldn't you pick a different game? I hate that game.
Maybe that game was the bee's knees back in the day.
Anyway. Okay, I get that, but I love that line that they said, hey, Mega Man. I love that they said, you can't bet with kids. What do you mean you can't bet with kids? Then why did you even allow the... Whatever. It's just...
Again, Pedro, the casino is where the arcade games and the tournaments are taking place.
Why the 80s music like randomly like this?
Because
Tio, the 80s practically lived in brief montages.
No, I don't mind, but
Metroid.
his music feels like he belongs in another place.
So yeah, Jimmy's practicing as many NES games as possible.
Again, Tio, it's for the sake of the
RCM.
montage.
Oh, Contra. And Mario 2.
This movie really likes Super Mario Brothers 2.
Well, at the time it was the most recent Mario game. Well, at the
the game promoted here might be connected to that.
Remember, Jova, back in the late 80s, Mario was actually more recognizable to American kids than even Mickey Mouse. Mario was a big deal at the time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Now 5 bombs are left. Hurry up.
Yeah. Jimmy was about to lose, by the way. I noticed that Jimmy was about to die there. And remember, if you die in the water level of that game, you get an instant game over. So, I'm sorry if I'm not exactly buying this whole Jimmy is a Nintendo god thing.
Again, to be fair, this is part of him practicing in preparation for that. And we have seen that he can occasionally lose. So it's not like he's never lost.
Okay, stop the chat.
Okay. To be fair, he's right there. Her ex-husband is indeed a maniac. Remember, he broke his car, and even like both of them are maniacs. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like I said, 2 wrongs don't make a right. Like.
Okay, I'm gonna check. I'm pretty sure this film was released in the UK, even though Nintendo around here wasn't nearly as popular.
Yeah.
Or Sega. Let's have a look. Only if the film wasn't even called The Wizard around here.
My country was called the Big Small Gaming Wizard.
Anyway,
it's just an expansion of the title.
A release date for the film.
Okay.
March 16th, 1990.
Well, there you go then.
And when did Mario Brothers 3 come out round here? It came out August 1990. To wait over a year.
Well, it still checks out as a commercial, I guess. It would have been worse if it was released before the movie.
Yeah, but by the time that game had come out, people would have probably game was in this movie.
Like I told you, Dave, so to get we had to wait like almost a year for the VHS of the first Harry Potter movie.
Yeah.
In my country.
Oh, it took a few months for to get it after this came out.
So yeah, this is one of the bullies, and there you go, Dubs. This is the closest you're gonna get to them getting a comeuppance. This one bully is gonna get a comeuppance in a moment. Lucas. Dubs, nobody beats Lucas. He's the best guy at NES games ever.
Yeah, sure.
So where are they going exactly? Video Armageddon, and in California.
I love the title Japan gave this film.
And that is?
I'm more accurate to this movie, to be honest. Sweet Road.
Yeah.
Okay.
Portugal called this film O Genio.
It means genius, as in like he's a genius. So it's
Wizard can be used as a synonymous of that, so I can understand the thought process.
Italy called it. Oh boy!
Like it's
so
the big small gaming genius.
So I guess Corey and Haley made up, and we're just gonna move on then. I guess.
Wait, hold on. We already saw the makeup.
I guess it's just that I don't really buy it.
So now they need to still get to Los Angeles for the tournament.
How will they get there? Teleportation?
Come on, Dibs. This isn't Star Trek.
Jimmy, you're such a dork. Yeah, because you're Mr. Cool yourself, aren't you, Corey?
Also, you say that drove up, but Christian Slater is in this, so who knows?
And now we're in Reno, the biggest little city in the world.
So it's not Las Vegas, technically, since they were there earlier.
No. Reno is in Las Vegas. Well,
Yeah.
actually, there are 2 Renos, so let me see
cool
which
feels
Reno.
it.
Yeah,
you're in.
Reno's in the same state, in Nevada, but it's along the Nevada-California border.
Alright, so let's get some used tires. Yeah, that's one of our major dilemmas in this movie: getting used tires to replace the ones that
The Wizard.
Yeah, I think that Japanese title's more fitting for this film.
That being said, Reno is sort of close to the border of California, so I guess they shouldn't be too much trouble to get to.
Okay, Dwibs, prepare yourself because this is gonna get uncomfortable. Really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
This is where we're gonna get the scene that everybody knows from this movie.
Speaking of uncomfortable, actually, you guys mentioned that the guy who played Lucas didn't do much after this,
Mm-hmm.
and that Lucas had the line of Lucas had the power glove line. And
Yeah.
power gloves off her. The actor was convicted of child molestation.
Movie. I don't want to look at an old man's naked body, please.
Oh, he's not naked. He's got the Speedo on.
But I still don't want to look at that. Like, can
Only
you?
if it's Danny DeVito to me.
What was even the thought process there? Okay, guys, we're going to have an old man in a Speedo in the background during this scene because this is gonna be it. This is what holds the entire scene together. Like, seriously, what the fuck? So nobody has a problem that this guy is basically grabbing this small child.
Well, Pedro, I thought Pedro, he's doing it for his job.
No, I get that, but he's not supposed to do it that way. Oh, here we go. And now, hold on. Here it comes. Here it comes, guys. Prepare yourself. This is gonna get weird as you're in a moment.
This is.
Oh.
What?
Okay. First off, that's
a South Park joke.
First off, that's a wrong.
That is like straight out of South Park.
First of all,
before South Park.
First off, that is wrongfully accusing that you just did there, Ailey. Like, do you know you can literally ruin a man's life with wrongful accusations like that? By the way, so yeah, like our female protagonist, everybody. Like, couldn't you find any other way? Did you really? I get that you wanted to save Jimmy, but damn, that's just.
Yeah,
You could have said he's kidnapping him.
Yeah, what Deji said. Jesus Christ.
Again, especially considering one of the actors in this film was done for that.
For kids. Mommy, what's a breast?
Again, the 4 children who had to drag their parents to see this because they wanted for Mario Bros. 3.
So yeah.
Instead we got to see this.
So yeah, parents, have fun explaining to your kids what the hell that was. Jesus Christ!
You're losing it, Pop. You're actually liking video games.
How dare you have a hobby, Pop? Like, what the fuck? Like, what are you doing there?
Okay. That scene is supposed to be offset by the guy being a creep who very much is just in it to make money off of kids. That being said, hold on. Let me finish, Stitch. That being said, Yeah, especially in today's climate. That kind of wrongful accusation, oh boy. She would probably get canceled for that quicker.
Alright, so I guess this is supposed to be more bonding, I guess.
Right. Hmm.
What?
Wow. Her mom had a gambling problem, essentially.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Exciting movie based off of Nintendo
The
video game
Wizard.
competitions.
The drama...
Parental trauma.
The drama is soap opera level. Like, it's really not good.
Even in general, I'm sure a kid will totally understand this.
Look,
Empathize with the
Zelda.
characters and everything.
What does this have to do with video games?
Zelda?
Not just that. What does Zelda have to do?
Wait, guys. It's like the Adventures
He's
of
explaining.
Zelda.
That's
You
not-
see?
No.
Wait,
I
what?
can't believe what I'm about
What?
to say, but if you want...
How is that sexist? What? Haley, do you even know the meaning of words?
Tia,
Probably
please say what
don't.
you want to say. Please wait.
If you want a movie that actually has video game incorporated and has a parallel to it with a character struggling with depression, I can't believe what I'm about to say, but watch Reign Over Me. Yeah, a Happy Madison movie with Adam Sandler as well
Whoa.
more protect and
Hello?
video games than this.
Okay, I guess she does.
What? Okay, you know what? I'm convinced. She is just in the middle of puberty. She doesn't know what she's doing, but those hormones are driving her literally insane. That's the only way to make heads or tails of her behavior in this movie.
I know, right?
I have to keep my mouth shut.
Seriously, the character. Oh, hold on, listen. We're about to get another payoff for that in a moment. Hey, kids, are you having fun?
Again, I guess it's to show that the guy really is that much of a creep, but again, Nintendo video game competitions.
Oh God.
Well, when it comes to the filming Jova, yes, I guess it does fit.
It's just not just that. Like
The
seriously,
thing that we're missing is the poor body holder.
the entire
No. The thing we're missing is our protagonist. Where's
What is that
Jimmy?
painting of a native in the background? I just noticed that.
the entire scene.
Yeah, I think they're on
Page.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, that entire scene between Corey and Haley is so poorly put together. Like, I'm trying to find my parents and shit. I'm trying to find my parents.
Wait a
Oh,
minute,
so
wait a minute. Oh, hold on. The guy's supposed to be getting both of the kids, though. Why did he only take Jimmy?
well, actually, no. He was hired only to get Jimmy. Actually,
Wait, what about Tia? That's his bro. Oh my God.
His
This movie's
no.
you're just now realizing this, Edge.
No, but it's like, why only get Jimmy instead of the other one? Because there's two kids that were missed.
Also, remember, in the previous scene, he tried to get both of them, so... No, I'm pretty sure he was hired to get both kids, and either way, pretty sure it's not gonna look good if he comes back with literally only one of the two kids, so... Again, I guess, to be fair, this is the movie showing how much of a villain he is, but...
I guess.
Still, though.
Yeah, that scene. Okay. Oh, I need to find my parents. Oh, so it's like in Zelda. Yes, in Adventures of Link. He has to find a house, you have to find your parents. It's the same thing. No, it's not. You're stupid. And her reply is, and I quote, boy, is that sexist. Wait, how is that sexist? He's comparing your parents to a house in Zelda 2. How do you get to that's sexist from that? I don't. What? There's clearly a missing link in the logic here. Like it's literally.
Oh snap! Here we go.
That scene was constructed using the South Park underpants gnomes logic. Step 1, collect underpants. Step 3, profit. Step 2, question mark. That scene is missing step 2 as well. Like what the fuck is going on? Is this the Dukes of Hazzard now? What the fuck is this?
Jesus.
Truckers to the rescue.
Do you imagine if they hit the car?
Oh, look at that, guys! Look at that, guys! That's Spanky. That's Spanky, aka that trucker who's a friend of Haley's, for some reason. Oh my god! yeah, what he said. The movie's really under the impression that this is funny. Like, oh my god! Like this movie.
Please tell me that they took the kid, because that would be really stupid if they. Yeah.
Nintendo, now you're playing with pedophilia. Like,
Okay, I won't mention it every single time, but yeah.
I get the. All right,
We have fun here at Squirm sometimes.
ladies and gentlemen, this movie has officially left us speechless.
Oh, no. Honestly, at this point, I'm just enjoying the ride. Like, this is a bad movie, but man, I forgot it could be enjoyably bad like this.
Oh no, it's a fascinating train wreck. I will give it that. Yeah.
Because they're riding in a truck.
Again, Spanky. That's the name.
I'll be honest, I thought this movie was just boring the first time I saw it, but now that I can get how bad it is...
To me, the first half is still very boring.
You know what, that's there. I mean, I personally can enjoy it for its qualities, shall we say. It definitely picks up in the later half.
Okay, two things. One, Spanky laughed very creepily at them there, and second, again, Spanky. That's the name of that's a porn star name.
Sorry, I forget. How were they able to contact Spanky and his trucker?
Because Ailey knows Ailey knows truckers. She has trucker friends for reasons that are never properly explained.
I
wonder how were they able to track them down?
Because shut up. That's why.
Wait. I feel like I'm missing an important plot point here.
They probably just hightailed it
we're
back.
finally at the entire reason why this thing is here.
I thought the whole movie was going to be like this.
I thought too. You know what's the worst part about it? I don't remember if it happens for this competition or anything, but the most outrageous thing is that for a movie about a person that's very talented and playing games on arcade Nintendo, we don't get a single part of the soundtrack, but it's a remix of a game.
Yeah.
That cost money to license or something.
Probably.
Yes.
No, it was also the mindset. Remember,
they could license the game.
The Super Mario Bros. Movie literally just has the jingle of the first level in the initial credits, and that's it.
There you go, guys. The tournament is on.
Well, one thing to keep in mind too, that sort of stuff
Discount
does.
Isn't that
what?
Isn't that the karate teacher from the fourth Karate Kid movie?
I don't remember.
Anyway, well, another thing to keep in mind too, a lot of times Japanese game soundtracks do get heavily licensed.
Considering these will actually probably endorsed by Nintendo and everything, you'd think they would reach an accord on
that. Look at that, guys. Hey, look, it's the Wiz. We wouldn't want you to whiz on someone. Genius writing right here. Go on.
You know,
haven't checked. Go on, Joe. I'll mention later.
One thing to keep in mind, while Nintendo were definitely willing to lend their licenses and stuff here, I do get the feeling that what they agreed to was just, okay, here's some snippets of our games and Super Mario Bros. Free footage. I get the feeling that Nintendo were kind of going with this with kind of a light touch, essentially. Like, they weren't going, like, heavily in. They just thought, okay, a lot of our games got delayed, so let's just turn this movie into a big Nintendo commercial without having to really do any heavy lifting per se.
Also, that line that Corey just said makes no sense. Remember, Jimmy, warp on the boards. Warp on the boards? What are you talking about?
And wait. I'm thinking that's supposed to be one of the tips he got for one of the games that they were getting from the Nintendo hotline.
Just to mention, just to let you know, there was only one writer for this, David Chisholm. And before and after this, he only did writing for TV movies.
Huh.
Okay.
This was supposed to be his breakout, and he did jack shit.
And as for the director, Todd Holland, he made 3 theatrically released films.
He's mostly known for making Malcolm in the Middle.
He made this, Krippendorf's Tribe, and Firehouse Dog.
Yeah, fun fact, Edge, the director of this movie went on to direct most of Malcolm in the Middle's episodes.
Yeah, okay. Hey, that's a career right there.
That's probably the peak of his career, by the way.
Yep.
I'm sure he
hold on.
He made Monster High the movie.
So, 3 finalists.
What game is this?
I don't...
It's Ninja Gaiden, okay.
Ninja Gaiden, yeah. Okay. Top scores, let's see.
Top scores again.
Lucas. Nice.
Damn it, Lucas.
See, again, I don't mind. I actually like this idea of a movie more promoting the
girl gamers,
girls in a normalized context rather than just say, "Oh, they're so superior," or going the other way around.
Sure.
Sad. How sad is it that this movie probably does gamer girls better than Microsoft tried to do that gamer girl ploy thing?
And now, everybody, the moment of truth. The reason everybody came to the theater to watch this movie.
Including us right now.
Yep, including us right now, because, we had to... This is our tie-in to our Mario free run.
This guy is literally losing his voice for this role.
To be fair,
He's enjoying it way too much.
To be fair to you, he is literally about to unveil what at the time was considered the holy grail of gaming.
Yep.
So no, I can totally get him all out for this.
Yeah, I have to contest this thing here. If nobody ever played this game before, how are they supposed to play well to compete?
The skills about improvising on the moment with a product they have no experience on.
Look, Haley.
Pretty much. That is a skill that a lot of gamers do contend in that regard.
I guess you had tied with Universal at that point.
Also, Haley. Nobody said.
No, Woody Woodpecker is owned by Universal.
Yep.
Well, I know that it is now. I didn't know if it was even back then. I know Walter Lanta did not really outsource it to them at the beginning.
Oh, hi.
What's the rating of this movie?
I will check the BTFC one.
This is 1989, Teo, so there was no PG-13 yet, so probably PG.
Yep, PG.
Okay.
As for around here...
God, that really is Tobey
I don't
Maguire.
want the Wizard of Oz.
I don't think Tobey Maguire's
by the way,
line.
Oh, no, Tobey Maguire...
By the way, Tobey Maguire's the short kid, actually, in pink.
To be fair, Teo, this was before he was famous, so it's not like...
Yeah, but some of the goons did have some throwaway lines.
Again, you gotta love moments in time where... You gotta love moments in time where, again, you think one actor's gonna be the big breakout, but no, it turns out to be that one silent kid over there who will be the biggest star from this, because no, let's be honest, Tobey Maguire is quite possibly the actor anyone will recognize the most from this movie nowadays.
Well, I will argue Christian Slater is...
Jesus.
Yeah, okay. Not to say that Christian Slater doesn't get recognition, but he's not...
are actually helping them.
I guess.
Carefully, the hero.
Movie maniacs.
I know, right?
Okay. To be fair, they're in Los Angeles. You're gonna run into a few kooks there.
Also, why is the Union Jack in there?
Well, hey. We like to showcase flags from other countries here and there.
Maybe this is invited people from all around the world.
Also, Pee Wee Herman, they
I can't
mentioned.
believe we're having the equivalent of the climax of jumping from one, train car to another.
Sure, why not?
Motion.
Just
emotional damage. What the fuck?
So why is Haley wearing that?
At least they're not disconnecting the cars for the time being.
Why is Haley wearing Daphne's color scheme?
I don't know.
Man, you guys are useless. Like,
they really kind of are. Their support is almost completely pointless.
But don't worry, guys. The payoff will eventually come in. Oh, wait. Are they doing the Universal Tram Tour?
Yeah.
Yep. Remember, Joe?
Again, I don't know what's more shameless in terms of being a sneak commercial. This or the Cat in the Hat.
Oh my God! It is the Universal Studios Tram Tours. Basically, folks, before Universal Studios, the theme park was a thing. This was basically a little tour between some of their most famous stuff. One of which being the King Kong part of the ride, and of course the Jaws section of the ride. Oh.
Okay, 1 point. Okay, 1 point for that actor. Like he had one line, but he sold well.
So, ladies and gentlemen, King Kong makes his guest cameo in this movie.
Hooray.
Yeah, hooray.
Again, to give him credit, these were some great effects made for the tram tour.
To be fair, this is still a better cameo for King Kong than the one he had in Ready Player One. So there's that.
Mind you, these effects are the actual ride props. If I
remember, Pedro, that version is just called Kong because one of
the
entire name.
Yeah.
Again, copyright infringement used to be well until Disney mucked it up.
Kong Skull Island came out in like 2015.
No, but here's the thing though too. King Kong, as I've just explained earlier, is public domain. Technically, Universal should not have the right to impede anything. Actually, King Kong is public domain.
Again, that's the problem with how mucked up copyright law is. Unfortunately, some companies can make some incredibly dumb pulls here and there. So you're telling me that the tournament is being held in the Universal Studios lot?
Which is funny considering the actual movie that actually adapted a Nintendo game a few years after this would be released by Disney.
Mm-hmm.
And the next one they did would be released by Universal. So I guess it all comes full circle in the end, doesn't it?
I love that. Like someone else said, "I love you, Lucas." Like Lucas is a fucking celebrity in this universe or something.
Well, he is just that big.
I guess he's just that much of a great gamer. He has the Power Glove, after all.
That's wild.
So bad.
What kind of tagline for promoting your product is that? I love the Power Glove, it's so bad.
God, come on.
Why is everybody a creep?
Obsession.
Why is everybody's a creep in this movie?
Yeah, we've got the fictional creeps in this. We've got the real
I love this line coming. I love this line from Mr. Putner in a moment.
Wait, you didn't recognize it as an elevator?
What? That thing is an elevator? Well, that's just silly.
It was kind of easy to guess.
I don't... Terrible at this.
This guy is way too good for this movie. Like, this guy is giving it 100%.
You know what? Again, God bless him for it.
Can he actually make it in time, guys? Can you imagine if he didn't?
And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The moment of truth.
And to give him credit, holy cow, the introduction does get the big welcome that it deserves.
And I'm also on the stage is shaped kind of like a Nintendo cartridge.
Even Lucas is standing in on it.
Here you go, ladies and gentlemen.
Surprise!
Yeah, there he is. Turns out he is here.
Lucas is displeased.
You know, I will give him credit. Lucas does relatively well as the antagonist of this movie. Sure, he doesn't have the most screen presence, but the little bits that he has are mimetic and wonderfully dramatic enough. It plays into the comical seriousness of the video game tournaments scene, so I'm fine with him.
And even better, the actor playing the antagonist is British.
Oh my god! Holy fucking shit! Super Mario Brothers 3!
There it is, ladies and gentlemen.
It's real! It's real! Oh my god, it's so beautiful, Dedge! It's so beautiful.
But wait, he hasn't played Super Mario Brothers 3.
Again, like you said, it's a test of improvisational skills.
Yeah. Alright,
Which did you see in some game tournaments?
I do, however, really question some of the stuff that Corey and Haley are going to say to Jimmy in a moment.
So again, whoever can get the most points.
Also,
because this is one of the few times. Oh my god, guys, we finally got it. A case where people have a reason to care about points in a game.
Yeah, that too. Also, how did they get 300 points in just 1 second? Like the score tally immediately started rising the moment
Look,
Pedro,
Pedro, wait. Let me be real. There's a lot of problems with this movie. Let's just enjoy this.
Sure.
Okay. Also, to be fair, it seems that they're also tallying the distance that they
watch the mushroom. Yeah, listen to the tips they give them. Watch the mushrooms. Watch the mushrooms.
But the mushrooms are good.
How does he know how to use the pea flying? He's never played this before.
No. Well, okay. To be fair, experimentation and whatnot.
Just like that in the heat of the moment under just a few seconds?
Yeah, it's possible.
I don't know. I don't buy it. Sorry.
No, I mean, there are problems with this game. This isn't one of them.
Does it mean movie?
Yeah.
Movie game.
Find a warp. It's not
It's game movie.
How do you want him to find a warp? He doesn't know where the warps are.
Warp pipe.
Yeah. No, you mean no, warp zones, Dedge. Remember, I think at least they mean warp zones, don't they?
Also, to be fair, they are showing that some of them are getting game over since this is the first time they've played it as well. So it's not like they're immediate pros at the game altogether.
Sure.
Go away now, please.
Please go away.
Again, sorry, but Lucas Works has a better antagonist than Putman.
Oh no!
No, Jimmy, no!
Bro.
Yes, I saw.
Turtle, it's a cool for.
You have to, yes, I saw that, Corey. Thank you.
Well, remember, Tio, Fred Savage's character isn't the gamer like Jimmy is, so he would know that it's actually a Koopa instead of a turtle.
Wait, also?
What the sound effect?
Wait. He finished World 2? How the hell did they got through the first 2 worlds?
Also, the screen showcase when he was in World 1.
Yeah, like...
Oops.
These people don't know anything about video games.
Is he cheating?
Wait, hold on. Did you say Jimmy starts World 2 again, even though it blatantly just says World 1, though?
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Not just that, Joe.
Okay, look.
Not just that, Joe, but they said, oh, Lucas just finished World 2. That quick? World, you don't really get to World 3 that quick, but go on.
Okay. To be fair, we're supposed to infer that this scene is happening over the course of an amount of time, so it's not necessarily happening in real time, essentially.
I don't know. Like, I think the movie does a poor job of conveying that, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Yeah, you are right that it definitely does do a poor job there. Now, these are legit problems.
About Fred Savage, actually.
Yes.
Wait. Yes?
He was a executive producer and director of the reboot of The Wonder Years.
That makes sense.
But after an investigation into alleged inappropriate conduct, he was fired.
Well,
Fred Savage.
Also, was that Secret Warp an actual thing in the game? I forgot.
Yes, it was.
Yes,
so this movie has a problem of fictional and real creeps.
Basically, you can get.
Hold on. First off, was it actually proven, or was that just allegations?
There you go. There's the warp zone.
The investigation was complete. Then they fired him.
You can use the whistle to use the.
Was it actually legit though? Because studios have done some stupid things of
and there you
firing people over allegations, even if they're guilty.
I want to point something out. Like those times where Mario games tend to have levels with giant versions of the enemies. This is the game that trope was born in. Anyway, in this game you can use the whistle to summon a tornado to take you to the warp zone. I'm not gonna do that in the playthrough because I want to show off every level. But yeah.
I also gonna love how the monitor score that when monitoring the different players, has different animations and everything to showcase what they can do.
According to the article I found, so far, at least.
Whoa!
There's nothing to say that.
Seizure!
Just gone from the movie. It's gone from the thing.
Dwebs, you and Shiro need on the Dark Souls streams. You guys need to start doing the same thing. This kill the guy, Theo. Kill the guy. Get the chest. Chest.
Hey Tio, did you know that you can dodge?
Dodge.
You're gonna have to try again, Theo. Just stay calm.
Shiro actually did say something like that. One of the previous times.
He did it, guys. He has fulfilled his destiny and risen to be king, the champion of the gamers.
I love how Haley.
The Wizard is his heroic name, but now he has earned the title of king.
I love how the three of them. I love how the three of them look at each other and smiles and nodding heads as if, oh wow, well, we just did that. The impact of this climax is just that great.
We still need the epilogue to justify the entire reason the poor kid wanted to go to California.
Yep.
And also maybe see if this family can make it work now.
Hold on.
Oh, wait, hold on.
It's the dinosaurs from the Pee Wee movie.
California, guys! California!
What is exactly so great about California? Like seriously, this movie hypes it up as like the holy grail of American places.
We're about to see why he really wanted to get back.
There's Universal. There's Hollywood.
I guess.
Studios, game
exactly.
Studios.
Well, you've played SA2, haven't you?
Yes, I have. Yes.
Exactly.
San Diego. Yeah. Sure.
Jimmy.
Wait. A Universal film and there's dinosaurs in it. Oh my god,
These
they're
are like
advertising
2
Jurassic
years.
Park.
Well,
Before it came out.
Well, if you go by that, then Land Before Time. Then Land Before Time came out this year too.
What's that by Universal?
Yeah.
So why did Jimmy wanted to go to California all this time? Let's see.
The answer may surprise or underwhelm you.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the latter.
I'll say both.
Let me guess. You want to go to this special shop?
Basically, they are at the landmark known as the Cabazon Dinosaurs.
Foxy the Pirate.
Okay. You see, Teal, he actually grows up to become Wolverine, actually.
This is why I'm adventuring that joke.
Wait, what?
Hold on.
In X-Men Origins Wolverine, the actor who plays Sabretooth shouts a lot of time, Jimmy! When
It's all of us. There you
go.
So, yes, the reason he wanted to come back to California was because this was one of the last few happy memories he had where Jennifer herself was happy, so he wanted to come back here for closure. Why he never could actually say that, I guess he was just that traumatized that California was all he could say.
Jimmy? Is that it?
That's the thing, Joe. That's the thing.
You can tell they also want to, like I said, that you can tell they also to be inspired by Heavy Rain in a sense, but they're portraying their portraying neurodivergence is so bad.
I want to.
To their credit,
this is kind of insulting.
Okay.
I don't want to say insulting.
Hold on. To their credit, they never actually go as far to say it's neurodivergence. Again, they mainly go with just PTSD and trauma, essentially, so they don't try to claim that the kid's autistic or anything, even if the implications do feel like they're there. That being said, even without that, though, could the kid really just not have told them, hey, I want to go where Jennifer was happy, and that's why I want to go to California? Oh, our boys? It sounds like they'll be getting back together because now the family is finally ready to heal.
There you go. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Super Mario Brothers 3 brought this family together.
Hooray. Now for 1999.
So what you're saying is Super Mario Brothers 3 is the opposite of Digimon the movie.
There you go, dude. You see, there you go, ladies. There you go. There you go. See that, Dwebs? This is just how great Nintendo is. Their games bring families together and heal trauma. See?
Allow me, friends across the world, is your family broken by the death of a loved one? Has one of your most beloved family members died from cancer? Well, buy our latest Nintendo products here. Get the Nintendo Switch to bring your family back together. Get the Nintendo Wii U so that you can join together in destroying that piece of history. Get the NES, which will help you relive the happiest moments of your life, or lead you on a very weird romp across the United States.
Of course.
We end with with that, and we end with Jova advertising every Nintendo console aside from the N64 and the GameCube, I think.
I think the Nostalgia Critic review said best. If you're gonna have dinosaurs in a Nintendo movie, they better fucking eat somebody. Like,
there's a character called Grease Monkey in this movie.
So yeah, that was okay. So what did we learn? We learned that Mario 3 is Jesus.
And I also learned that, wow, Tobey Maguire had one of the weirdest film debuts.
I learned that adults can be very creepy and children should be left alone because apparently they have better time for themselves.
I learned that you can. I learned that if you can advertise the showing of a brand new video game in your movie, people will still not go to see it because it didn't do that well at the box office.
It did double the budget, but it was only considered a critical failure. But I get the idea, it commercially was alright. Probably not as much as Nintendo Universal wanted, but I don't think it was a complete disaster.
Actually, that's the thing. This movie may not have been an immediate success, but believe it or not, it did succeed in what Nintendo wanted, and that was selling Nintendo merchandise. Because in the wake of this movie, as you can imagine, Super Mario Bros. 3 sold gangbusters.
Yep.
Heck, even stuff like the Power Glove, which does not work as well as the movie wants you to think it does, but nevertheless was a thing. I believe that sold well as well, too. Now, the thing is, this movie, while initially it was a failure, did end up getting quite a cult following for various reasons.
Even Blu-rays releases these days.
So ironically, even the movie itself, in its own weird way, eventually became a success. And you know what? I'm not bothered by it. Like, yes, no, this movie is bad. Make no mistake. It is a blatant Nintendo commercial. Yet, in some ways, I have to respect the audacity of them. Now, granted, they could have done the whole Nintendo competition more stuff. That being said, the fact that they legit took this movie, which had little to no business being about a video game competition, worked that in with the trauma of a kid having to deal with his twin sister drowning, and the trauma of that literally splitting his family apart, but having video games bring them back together in a silly bout of antics. Oh, by the way, the grandson from Princess Bride also falls in love.
Also,
That happens.
there's
Wait, the Super Mario Bros. 3 game appears by courtesy of Nintendo of America Incorporated, owner of all copyright and trademark rights to Super Mario Brothers, which means, hint, hint, buy our game.
oh yeah, and there's also a lot of awkward, creepy pedophilia jokes because it's
I will mention that in my thoughts as well because
The last bit we get from that guy is literally just him saying, "Hey, he knows that kid," and then he's gone. I guess we're to assume he didn't get paid.
Yeah, Lucas never really got any kind of comeuppance, really.
Oh my God, Pedro! It was filmed with Panavision. Of course, that kid grows up to become the angry video game nerd.
You're thinking of Panasonic. Panavision is different.
I thought they were the same branch.
Are they?
So,
I don't know.
But yeah.
Final thoughts then.
Final thoughts, Dibs.
Okay, putting aside the fictional creepiness in the movie and the real creepiness from at least one of the actors from the movie later on in life, it's not very good. In fact, for the most part...
Wait, hold on. I got a comment on this bit. When in Hollywood, visit Universal Studios. One last commercial. The film.
Yeah. The whole movie kind of did that. Basically, the movie is just one giant advertisement, not just for Nintendo, but for like other Universal things as well. At some point near the end of the movie, and it's not even good advertisement. It's just basically a bunch of adverts in a generic plot about trying to get your kid back from going somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And it says something when the best character in the movie is just one that his job it is to excitedly yell things.
But hey, he later goes on to be in Highlander 2, The Quickening.
I can't even...
So did Dr. Cox drove up. That didn't certainly help his career.
Well, okay, I guess he was also in Nightmare on Elm Street 5.
One of the worst one of the series. Oops.
So, in that case, The Wizard and Scooby-Doo were probably his best films.
How sad that one of the highlights of your career is a movie directed by Raja Gosnell.
The music's barely noticeable. The acting is, well, it's over the top for the most part, or in the case of the supposed lead, really poor. The wonder he barely has any lines, in spite of being the supposed lead.
Mm-hmm.
That can't even go on to really do.
I've already done that thing earlier.
Dwebs, are you hyped for Super Mario Bros. 3 now?
Did the movie convince you to go to play it?
But guys, the game came out here in Britain like over a year and a half after.
Yeah, the hype cycle should be enough, I guess.
I would have forgotten by then. Besides, remember, Britain was Sega country at this point.
Well, okay, to be fair, you guys still had your fair share of Nintendo stuff. Let's not act like Nintendo wasn't still making money with you guys.
The Game Boy mostly.
Yeah, even with their consoles as well. Again, though, that's probably part of the reason why The Wizard came out later for you guys.
Well, I actually live here in the UK, so
I will trust more the judgment of someone who lives there, Jova.
But yeah, I think that's mainly it. It's just a really poor advert disguised in a really poor movie. And yeah, no wonder even the allure of seeing Mario Brothers 3 footage wasn't enough to entice the masses in. Like, it only barely made over half its budget back.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Anyway, okay. Sorry, that's incorrect. It made barely over double its budget back, which makes it kind of a success. But I can imagine that, considering Nintendo were advertising their big,
they probably had high expectations.
Probably had higher expectations. Although, funnily enough, I looked into it a bit more. Nintendo weren't actually the ones who were mainly in control of the production. Actually, that was Universal. Nintendo barely had any input and all aside from the inserts and all that.
This is why I said earlier that Nintendo were, for the most part, not really going in too deep on this stuff. Like, sure, they provided the games and stuff and the products, but no, it's not like this was some big, heavy collaboration or anything. It was more just so, hey, here's some of our stuff marketed for us. We'll expect our check in the mail.
That will come 4 years later.
Again, to be fair, in regards to Nintendo's part, this movie did end up being a success because they certainly made money. And, again, the stuff that was advertised in this movie did sell.
Yeah, but yeah, overall, it just stinks.
Dedge.
What the hell did we just watch?
I don't know, Andrew.
Want to make heads or tails of it?
Like, I can't even... I know we're saying this is obviously a commercial, but at the end of the day, a good chunk of this movie had nothing to do with video games. Oh, Jimmy is... That's his name, right?
Yeah, Jimmy.
Yes, Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy is so good at Nintendo games. He's like a wizard, but who cares? It's like, we just want to see games, and the whole point is like, I would be down if the whole point of the game is love for video games brought people together, or something. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, it's not their life, but it's just a hobby that they all share, and they get to know each other better because of it. It's stupid. There's a lot of stupid things. It's like grown adults stealing money from kids, teenagers beating up the kids
after trying to run them down.
Like, who?
And the kids accusing the adults of touching their breasts.
Like, who is this for?
Again, it was for Nintendo fans, apparently. At least.
So this is basically what Twitter thinks Nintendo fans is.
Oh god, do not even get me started on the ideas of what a Twitter movie would be like.
Also, Dad, you say that, but remember what happened in the Smash Bros. Tournament, so...
It's not a good movie, not even entertaining in the slightest. Like, the reveal of Mario 3 is the best part of the movie, but everything leading up to it was not worth it.
Yeah, that was the question, Judge. Was it worth it?
No!
I do wonder if it's a case where you had to be there at the time. Because, again, one thing I do take into consideration is how different the mindsets were for not just the movie makers, but the movie goers at the time. That being said, apparently, while it did make double its budget, it is apparently still considered a monetary failure, so apparently it didn't entice enough people. And I mean, to be really fair, the big selling point is you get a look at Super Mario Bros. 3. Not like the movie suddenly reaches out, pulls you in, and lets you play the damn game. So, like, I mean, is it really that much of a seller when you think about it? And I know some people will say obviously it is, but I do argue in this... Well, okay, again, going off of this day and age, even when we see some great trailers, we do get skeptical about if this thing will even come to be. Now, granted, obviously the game was already made, so there was that. But, like, I guess if people were that jazzed, maybe, but were people really that jazzed to look at the game instead of playing it? I don't know. It's just a thought in my head.
Honestly, it's really hard for me to go back to that mindset at this point because it's been so long. But see, especially because this movie was more of a big deal in America rather than Europe, like to have said. So it's kind of hard for me to go back to it. Anything else, Dedge?
No. This is bad. Don't worry. Don't watch it.
What are you gonna give this movie?
1.
All right.
There.
Wow, really?
No, I understand him.
All right.
Huh.
Java.
I mean, I was expecting a low score, but okay, yeah. Well, you know what? I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. No, this movie is bad. That said, it's the kind of bad that I can get some very odd enjoyment out of just the amazing shock of what a train wreck this whole film is. It is definitely a look back in the 80s, but not for the 80s' best qualities, let's just say. Let's see, where do I begin? First off, it's supposed to be a video game movie. I'm not gonna say the video game aspects are handled the best. I don't agree with all the issues, since I do think that there are some circumstances that could have allowed for some points to be gotten here and there, or some logistics are okay. Maybe some things you only really know if you know that game from top to bottom, you know, is an issue. That being said, there are literally some blatant bouts where what is said in the script is literally contradicted by what's going on screen. So, like, no. Like, okay. Could they not have at least had, like, a retake or a bit where the announcer just says World 2 instead? Like, it's literally on the screen. Like, ADR it if you have to. It's not like we see the guy on screen.
Or hell, if you have actually permission on Nintendo to use the game, record more footage and use that.
I wonder if Nintendo was kind of, like, specific on what they could show of Mario Brothers 3. I don't know, this stuff can get...
We never see Bowser in one of these shots, so it might be possible.
This stuff can get very complicated with the whole logistics and legal bouts of what can be shown and yada yada yada. That being said, I do have to wonder, did the advertising for this movie border on false advertising? Now granted, you do get Mario Brothers 3 in it. But the stuff you gotta go through to get to Mario Brothers 3. And look, you know, that's not even like it's inherently bad. I get it. Kid has high sense of trauma, and the best way to get through it is playing video games. There are some people like that in real life.
Like I said,
now,
the movie Reign Over Me also explores this topic with a much better tact. Again, how weird and fucked up is it that an Adam Sandler movie manages to do this right?
Like, that's the thing. Adam Sandler can occasionally turn in the good movie here. It's just, we remember him for the bad, though he does seem to have been getting better ever since that movie of his, Uncut Gems. And, hey, Hotel Transylvania was a safe haven for his better stuff, let's say. But, like you said, an Adam Sandler movie handled the stuff better. And that's just the biggest problem. The execution. Like, a lot of the jokes do not land, or when they do get us to laugh, it is just how bafflingly horrifying they are. There is literally a subplot where a son realizes how creepy it is that he's sleeping with his father in his boxers.
Touched your breast. You don't have any breasts.
Also, what was up with the subplot of the father getting into gaming, but then his son going, "You're lost it, Pop"? Like, I don't feel like that really went anywhere.
The thing is that by the end, he's still, I guess it's for the end, by the end to be, to understand the point of his other son.
I wonder if some scenes got deleted that showed him connecting now that he gets the gaming, essentially. Because I feel like that is supposed to culminate in the competition scene, like you're suggesting, but it feels like some scenes were missing. Now, I think the best way to describe this movie is, overall, it's a good idea. It has a ton of good ideas, but pretty much 90% of them are executed badly. I mean, really badly. Again, though, I absolutely get why this movie got a cult following, for several reasons. First of all, again, the actual height and scope of a video game first being shown with a movie is kind of outstanding. And again, the product placement here, ironically, I'm gonna say it, this is probably one of the better examples of product placement in a movie, essentially. They're upfront and honest about it, but it's worked in a way in the plot that it doesn't feel like it distracts from it. It's kind of like, Krispy Kremes in you-know-what.
I still actually have to see the movie.
Trust me, Tio, the Krispy Kreme's product placement.
We don't really have that in my
is-
country, so I really have to also probably understand from an outsider context.
Alas. But Pedro can vouch for me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, like, I will give this movie one credit. I do feel like the product placement was well done. Again, now if the plot had been better, this would have been the full package. But again, I've seen even good movies do some pretty bad product placement. So again, honestly, no, this is a good example of product placement. Yes, it is blatant and very cash grabby, but they never falter on it. They don't try to act all pretentious and like, oh, well, you see, it's a high art. Like, no. They're pretty much all truthful about it. We're selling you this product here. We know why you came to this movie. We know what brought you to the theaters, and we're gonna milk it. And the product placement itself does not feel disrespectful. That being said, how sad is it that one of the few, and quite possibly the only thing I can say was done, for the most part, well, was the product placement in this movie. Because like I said, pretty much a lot of the other stuff is just good ideas done bad. Now the actor playing Lucas, again, despite of whatever trouble he got in real life afterward, again, Lucas is an interesting antagonist. He's mimetic in all the senses, but again, I guess as far as evil gamer boy goes, he's quite an antagonist. I will say this.
I still don't understand what kind of marketing tagline is that. I love the Power Glove. It's so bad. That's what's supposed to make me want to buy a Power Glove? You saying that it's bad?
Okay, Pedro. Bit of English 101. Back in the back in the 80s, bad was actually a term for cool. You remember Michael Jackson's album, Bad, essentially?
Well, I know that song, but I always interpreted that as like I'm bad, as in I'm a bad boy, and like bad boys are cool and shit. That's how I always interpreted it.
Bad also meant cool back in the day. You wouldn't get it.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. So trust me, that was absolutely the lingo of the time. Like I said, this was definitely one of the most 80s time capsules I've ever seen before. Again, though, it doesn't encapsulate all the good stuff of the 80s. But yeah, that's The Wizard. The story of Nintendo, for some reason, partnering with the same company that tried to sue them into the ground for Donkey Kong. Time really is a flat circle.
And nowadays, they're collaborating again for an animated product.
And a theme park.
Oh, the theme park is already there.
3 theme parks.
Alright. Teo.
Next.
This movie is even worse than I remember, and honestly, to me, not so much, even enjoyable. If I have to be honest, it's again the sense of discovery of Mario 3, and having to see people playing it, for the first time, and studying, seeing how it works. It's actually probably a biggest reward with someone, particular Mario fan back then, could have hoped for. But the process to get there is so awful. I cannot even begin to imagine a child at the time caring. It's not even a case of, oh, this stuff is too offensive for kids. It's more even a comprehension thing. I get the idea the average child would not give a shit and probably not even understand what's going on throughout this movie. And that's not to say, however, that the themes are not bad, because they are. Like, almost all the adults in this movie are useless and or creepy as fuck. I forgot how much, awful undertones are there in this. It's just, Jesus. If this is what people in the 90s thought video games, were properly in their panorama around it, both for kids and adults, then yeah, it's kind of disturbing, especially for Hollywood. Sorry, yes, sir?
I think you mean the 80s, because...
Well, end of the 80s, fine. It's the same way that I consider Star Wars more of an 80s movie, despite being released at the end of the 70s,
That's the thing, like, I'd argue this movie has much more 80s undertones than 90s
definitely.
undertones.
Definitely. Go on.
But still, it's honestly no, it's awful. Like it's technically awful that the best thing about it are obviously the Mario 3 reveal and arguably a bit of the cameo of the Universal Studios tour. But almost everything else, the actor performance, Lucas is fine. Again, notwithstanding what the actor actually did later on. But all the other actors are just not really working for me. And again, even if it doesn't really explicitly say if it's a potential neurodivergency or not, the way Jimmy's characterization, his behavior is actually handled with the coping for the loss, of his sister and everything, and he's studying and actually having to express himself just for video games, is still portrayed in a way that you can clearly tell, executives were completely disconnected by this film and did not know what to do with it. And again, the cynical part of me believes they just wanted to reference Rain Man for the sake because that was actually popular at the time and nothing more. Just no. Like, don't do that, please. Like, if anything, I'm sorry to say it, but this is making me reevaluate a bit Ready Player One. For all its cringiness of over-referential stuff, that movie still has a bit of a better idea of, the gaming world. Even if this movie has a bit of an edge over it by one factor. Again, as I mentioned, the one quality, portraying, female game, women and, children, children as, proper gaming in a normalized context rather than saying, oh, I'm so more special than you, or instead the opposite, girls cannot do gaming. No, it just creates an ambient where, it's relaxed and everyone can, enjoy proper gaming despite regardless of who you are. And I actually applaud the movie for that. It's actually breaking a bit, the trend that is still playing a bit to this very day. Like, if anything, I would rather have another movie that actually does something similar to this in terms of, world setting. But just
thanks for reminding me. That was actually another good thing about the movie.
But only that. Don't do what you did to the adults in this movie, because Jesus.
No.
And this is definitely one of those movies that only aged more poorly as time passed, and I had suppressed a lot of memories of this. Pedro.
I'll still argue.
So Pedro, what do you think of this look back into the 80s?
I'll just to answer Terry real quickly, I'll still argue both movies are terrible, just in different flavors. Okay. As someone who did indeed grow up with playing Super Mario Brothers 3, obviously I wasn't there in America to really be part of the hype. My bigger problem with this, there's all of the problems that we already discussed, like the way they write the adults is disturbing, the overall character arcs that they come up with are terribly executed, like the scenes are bafflingly in their writing, like how exactly do you compare finding a house in Zelda 2 to finding your missing parents? How does that even relate? And how
is that sexist?
Yeah, and how is that? And the girl's response is, "Boy, is that sexist." I'm like, what?
It's like that phrase in The Legend of Titanic, Pedro, where the mouse is.
If there's one thing I'm not, there's thing I'm not, is that's a racist. First of all, it would be speciesist more like, not racist. But seriously, people, learn your fucking terms. Jesus Christ.
Words do have meaning,
Yeah.
So that's something we can officially say this movie has in common with The Legend of Titanic.
Brilliant.
That's not a compliment, by the way. But
oh boy.
But God, the writing is baffling to no end. And the way the game portrays video games, like Teo said, yes, I appreciate the fact that girl gamers are portrayed well, which is something that's incredibly surprising for a movie at this time. That being said, man, I really don't buy most of the shit we see regarding the video games themselves in this movie, to be honest with you. I don't really like the whole 50,000 points on Double Dragon, and they're just like a minute. That's no. If he was playing on the NES, you could argue he was using Game Genie, but he was playing the arcade version though. So yeah. Same, and like Jova said, yeah, sometimes, oh, Lucas just finished World 2, and then we see World 1 on the screen, and I'm just like, what?
Yeah, and like, it's literally on the screen. Like, okay, look, forget the script writers or whatnot. Did nobody in the editing process say, have a look at this? And again, it's not even really that hard. If they were filming this scene as is, couldn't they have just had the announcer go, like ad lib or something,
or at least
improv,
mentioning like, oh, he's returned at the beginning of a level or something like that.
I get the feeling the people who made this movie just didn't care. If they're kids are not gonna notice anything because they're stupid. Like, I really...
Okay, this also goes back to my theory that Nintendo were relatively hands-off with this. They just gave the products, but it's not like they had any heavy input on...
Oh, sure. I'm talking about the filmmakers themselves. Stuff. I get the feeling the executives at Universal and the filmmakers themselves were probably even going like, whatever, the kids won't notice because they're stupid. Like, it's just...
Yeah, I can definitely picture us with a cigar, chomping a cigar while saying that.
Yeah, basically.
That said, God bless this movie for helping give film birth to Spider-Man.
It's like that guy in that Simpsons clip. You kids don't know what you want. Yeah. Yeah, no, and like I said, I don't care for the characters. I don't care for the way video games are portrayed because all of it just seems so fucking forged and phony. The conflict is incredibly underwhelming. What kind of if you're going to have a movie about video games, do something akin to Free Guy. Why is it why not? Why is this your plot for your fucking video game related movie? Holy fucking hell! This is just so stupid.
Well, obviously the reason why they couldn't do Free Guy was because one, video games was still a new concept to the mainstream. Yes, I know there was Pong, but let's
yeah. Go on.
Also, the budget and technology was out there.
Look, I'm not saying they should do something on that scale, but do something that's more energetic in tone, something more exciting.
I think that movie that starred Neil Patrick Harris, that when he's narrated his Christmas to get a Nintendo Entertainment System, it looks like a better attempt at, hey look, I like video games then, whatever the hell this is.
Also, terrible choice of video games a lot of the times. I mean, they'll occasionally get the good one like Mega Man, Mario 2, and Ninja Gaiden, but then we have way more footage of people playing the first NES TMNT game that I would care for, to be honest with you.
Okay. To be fair, if I recall correctly, wasn't that game well liked though?
Well, I can tell you that I never knew any kid who liked it. If that helps.
I mean, I assume it must have been well liked enough, given that it got a.
I mean, yeah.
Okay. I know that's not a guarantee.
Probably
that too, yeah.
Yeah, the thing you have to remember, it's the first ever home console Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. That game was going to sell great, regardless of whether it was amazing or it blew chunks.
That pretty much goes back to my point, though. I assume it was probably one of the games that was beloved, probably why they got as much footage there. Again, it goes back to what I said during our commentary. The taste of video games back in the day probably had that game be a hit, whereas obviously by nowadays standards, we would definitely expect better. Which, to be fair, thankfully the Digital Eclipse re-release makes that game more bearable.
Mm-hmm. Like Teo said, there's a lot of terrible implications in handling of topics without any tact or nuance, so that doesn't bode well either. I do like the soundtrack. I mean, there's some nice selection of 80s tunes in here, so that's nice at least. So there's that. And I will give it to Steve Grimes, the announcer. The guy is definitely, at the very least, trying hard to really Sally's performance, so there's that. Yeah, this is not good. All right, but before we go, I have a surprise. Let's bring in Shiro in here. Hey, Shiro, how you doing?
Hi, I'm here for some reason.
Yes, that's because, well, throughout this commentary, we all voiced our opinions on this specific problem that this clip from this movie has. But I wanted to hear your input on this because I'll tell you basically, everybody. Shiro has doesn't know what this movie is. She knows nothing of what I'm about to show her. So we're gonna get a fresh reaction right now, and so we'll see what Shiro thinks of the sadly most memorable moment of this movie for all the wrong reasons. All right. This is just I'm going to use a clip from YouTube. Use that link in the description, everybody, so you can just watch the clip with her, because we're not going to rewind all the way the movie because that would take too much long. Just use that link that's in the description, everybody. All right, ready, Shiri?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, click. So basically, this guy who's kind of the antagonist is about to try to, get this kid because they've been running away from this guy throughout the entire movie. But now he's caught them. There you go. So Shiro, how are you getting out of this one?
No. Yeah, like the boy next to her was like, "Did you really just?"
Hold on.
Dude, you could have just said nothing.
Let me remind you, Shiro, that this movie was sold to kids. Remember, this was back in the day where most of the people who played the video games were kids, because gaming was as yet to become a mainstream hobby at this point. Because at this point in time, back in the late 80s, it was only gamers and kids who played video games, not so much your typical adult. Nowadays is of course much different, with the rise of mobile gaming and stuff like that, but this was a very different time. So I can assure you, most of the audience for this movie were kids who loved playing on the NES, and they asked their parents to bring this movie along because this was a movie about video games.
Yeah.
And the writers of this movie decided to throw this joke in there. Now, immediately my first objection to this during the commentary, to recap it for you, Shiro, was that I immediately said, okay, screw you for such a horrible false accusation. Are you telling me you couldn't come up with any other way to save Jimmy? Like you had to wrongfully accuse this guy of being a pedophile.
Yeah, what were the writers even thinking?
Not even just that. Like this is a joke. They even have that joke with the truckers. Hey, you touched that girl's breast, didn't you? Then they punch him. Like this is I guess we're supposed to find this funny somehow. I don't.
Like the guy loses and I know this is the writers. Like these characters aren't real, but the guy loses some sympathy when he goes, "She doesn't even have any." Like that is not what you say, my dude. But the joke just keeps going. And it gets worse.
Yep.
Could they think of nothing else? Not some kind of weird, cartoony way of doing it? This is a movie starring children, something wacky. But no, it's oh, this dude touched me inappropriately. How is that supposed to be funny? That's not funny.
Yeah. That's basically.
The verdict is this joke sucks, and I'm guessing it's the same as the rest of you.
No. We all hated this thing because we were all uncomfortable watching it because this is just what.
This was to promote a video game.
Not even just that, Shirai. There's even, just to give you a basic idea of what else you're missing, there's also a scene that's awkward because this kid that was playing the arcade, his 20-year-old brother and father are looking for him, try to see if they can find him before this guy does, right? And while they're on the road looking for them, eventually they'll have to stop in the occasional hotel to spend the night, and they both sleep in the same bed. And don't get me wrong, I understand that that doesn't necessarily mean anything. It's just that it's just that even the movie sometimes seems like it's kind of poking fun at it. So the movie sometimes has this really, for the record, this is a 1989 movie, Shiroi. So
yeah, the 80s were a time. I do understand that.
Yeah, this is the kind of thing that would never be greenlit today. Can you imagine?
I mean, it shouldn't have been greenlit back then, but
yeah,
that's how it was, I guess.
Yes. Okay. I guess the writers thought, hey, we're still posing the so-called touching as a bad thing, so it's cool. Maybe that's what they thought.
Maybe, but no. Like, congrats, you've ruined this guy's life now for doing his job. Yay!
Yay! Yeah, because you actually got it right there, because he's actually technically doing his job, because his job in the movie is that he's I forgot if there's an actual proper name for it, but he's a guy who brings back lost children, finds lost children, brings them back to their parents, right? So technically in this movie,
would be there is one, but I don't know what it is.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he's a saint or anything. He's still not the most nice person ever or anything like that, but he's not necessarily a criminal or anything.
He's not a pedophile. Like,
yeah.
What the fuck?
So this is just like, what? Very, very concerning. So basically I decided to bring you here so you could react, because I knew you were going to have a reaction to this immediately.
Yeah, no, that was awful.
That was awful, yeah. No, it's because, see, yeah, like, you could have literally written anything else. Like, anything. You could have just said, this, okay, I guess the whole beat me, like, as in, like, violence thing wouldn't be good either. Something else, like, I can't even, I'm trying to think of, like, a better joke you could have used, like, bloody hell, I just, okay, whatever, the point is, the point,
I don't have anything else to say about it, it's just an awful joke.
It is awful, it really is. Alright, everybody, and that was Shiroi's input on the whole matter. Yeah, that was a thing, like, that being said, everybody, now we've officially done this movie, you can expect me to occasionally bring this back whenever there's some kind of weird pedophilia moment in any media we talk about, because, I mean, it just begs. And for the record, to give you an idea, Shiro, Little Kraber did something akin to that, where he used the clip of the audio from this clip, like, to make a YouTube poop style of joke, basically. So
I could have used this before.
As you can probably,
commentary.
Yeah, as you can probably guess, Shiroi, this particular clip, especially the audio, has been taken out of context for humor's sake by a lot of YouTube poop / a lot of various kinds of meme stuff, basically.
I believe it. Yeah.
Because this is the people who make memes or out of context Twitter accounts, they'll look at this and they'll think, oh my god, this is gold. This is
perfect.
I mean, it's like, so there's that. It serves as meme material, so it has that going for it, I guess.
That's all.
That being said, yeah, that's okay, everybody. Now that we're done with the commercial, so guys, what do you guys think? Are you guys hyped for us to now get into Super Mario Bros. 3?
No.
I mean,
I can.
Am I hyped to get into a game that I've already played and know is great? You bet I am.
Yeah. Well, Mario Bros. 3 is my favorite NES platformer, so nice by that. So that I'm definitely in for it. All right, everybody, that was it. I hope you enjoyed this time capsule. Now let's get into what actually we want from this movie. Let's play Super Mario Bros. 3. See you then.
Yeah.